SHN Live is an online audio and visual production company based out of Austin, Texas that specializes in broadcasting live events. Hi, I'm Carl Schoening, the Director of Broadcasting and co-founder of SHN Live. When my business partner Rob Hipp and I started SHN Sports in 2015, we made our slogan, "Your Team, Your Broadcast," because we envisioned bringing live broadcasting to undercovered sporting events as affordable as possible to schools and organizations. We started out with Georgetown ISD high schools and in 5 years have expanded to 6 states with over 30 affiliates, while also doing production for NCAA teams, conference tournaments, and even the NCAA Division II basketball tournament. In 2020, we rebranded to SHN Live as we provide resources and training for more than just sports. SHN Live is for anyone interested in any kind of online media production. We make broadcasting on our platform free, and we teach our affiliates how to most cost-effectively start broadcasting. If you have a computer, we can teach you the basics of live streaming today. If you become an affiliate, you can put on live streams that look and sound professional once you have collected all of our recommended equipment. And by being an SHN affiliate, we will provide sales support, audio and visual elements to improve your broadcast such as static and motion graphics, access to our Facebook SHN Live affiliates page, and on-demand troubleshooting and tutorial videos. You can also contact Rob or myself for help and we'll get back to you free of charge. Rebranding in 2020, SHN Live started because of one question. Why pay third-party companies hundreds or even thousands of dollars a year for live streaming when you can own your own equipment and put on a professional quality live stream at any time yourself? With SHN's platform, you can control everything from who is on your broadcast to keeping 100% of your advertisement money sold. While SHN will try to sell advertisements with national companies across the network and then give a kickback to participating broadcasts. If you want your broadcast to look and sound the best possible, we recommend getting the SHN Live Academy subscription, where we teach you everything you need to know about online media production. For an affordable monthly investment, you will get a credit towards SHN services, access to monthly broadcasting webinars produced by SHN Live, monthly broadcast critiques, access to advanced SHN video tutorials where we teach fundamentals of broadcasting with experienced professional broadcasters, and how we create our audio and visual elements so you can make your broadcast more personalized, as well as discounted rates for our services such as making those broadcast elements, emergency support calls when service can be available, and enhanced sales support for your broadcast. If you want your events to be broadcast professionally and on your own budget, fill out the form below and we'll get you set up as an SHN affiliate within 24 hours. To get started today, check out
football season again. We'd like to welcome everybody to the Mexia Sports Network channel on YouTube. We want to thank Joe Fridays for allowing us to come in and do this Mexia Black Cats coaching show. Tonight, we're going to have Coach Now,
yes, sir,
who has stepped in as head coach this year, and Coach Landry, who's got responsibilities from the left to the right. Coach, tell the Mexia fans, the Black Cat fans, a little bit about yourself so they'll get to know you.
All right. So I guess this is probably like year 16, 17. I've been coaching high school football. Obviously, it's my first stint as a head coach. Today is day 3. I'm a defensive guy at heart. I just believe in aggressive physical play, and you can do that on both sides of the ball. But I tend to look at offensive guys as cheating, and so I just like to go hit a dude in the mouth that's got the ball and get 11 hats running the football and go take the ball away from the opponent and go set the offense up. And I'm big put pressure on guys, and what puts pressures on people is tempo and pressure in the quarterback. And you get that guy off his spot and go fast, play fast, play fast, play fast.
I was kind of talking before the show started, and I asked you about the change coming from a big school like Midway to a small town like Mexia. What kind of difference and change did you have to adjust to going from a big school to a small school like Mexia?
So, like when we started fall camp, and you start installing, being an entirely new staff, it's a new defense, it's a new offense, it's new special teams, and understanding that our kids now are playing, they're playing on all 3 units. They're playing in all 3 phases of the game, and yeah, you're there's a standard of what you have to learn, but you also have to be mindful of the fact that, hey, they're learning all that stuff, and we're going, part of the practice you're going offense, and then we have a special team segment, and the defense, and then back to another special teams unit, and we'll have some kind of competition at the end, and you're kind of like drinking out of a fire hose, and you kind of see what sticks. And so, I know me as the defensive coordinator at the time, I did not install at the same speed at which I normally would have, and that it's fine, because you gotta get the base down before you can go to anything else. But that was just one thing I was mindful of because we have so many kids that are going to play both sides of the ball, that just hey, slow it down. Know what you know, play what you know, and if they know it, they're not thinking, and that enables them to play fast. And the whole deal is reach a key, play fast, get to the football.
All right. Now, I know we got Lake Belton coming up.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of I can't speak today. Preparations are y'all taking in hand, and what do you feel is going to be your biggest threat on defense?
So they've got a sophomore wide receiver he's everything you want in a wide receiver. He's big, tall, fast, right? And he has great body control in the air. He reads the ball well out of the quarterback's hands. He runs good routes. I kind of, like I'm sitting there watching, I think back to when Randy Moss was with the Vikings and he's over there telling Dante Culpepper, just throw it up, dog, I'll go get it, And that's the kind of kid that guy is. He can go get it. And it's our job defensively, one, to cover that guy and take it away and put pressure on the quarterback, and don't let those deep routes develop and make him throw hot and make him check down and throw other stuff. And, they throw the ball a ton. They're a big screen team. They want to get the ball on the perimeter, try to get some athletes in space. And so, that's going to make us run the football. And, just understanding what their attack is. I've known Coach Cope for several years. They're going to be a well-coached team. On both sides of the ball, defensively, they're 3-4. They got a big old nose guard. Their linebackers have good eye discipline. They don't go chasing ghosts. They know where they're supposed to fit. Across the back end, they're athletic. And but here in Mexia, Texas, we got some athletes.
Oh, yeah.
And we're fixing to go put the ball on the perimeter, and we're going to go fast, and good things are going to happen.
That's right. And that's one thing that Mexia does have year after year is natural athletes. And Coach Harrison, this question is for you. Last year we had a good season going on. We made it to the second round in the playoffs. Then all of a sudden COVID hit, and we had to shut the football season down. And I know with some of our juniors and sophomores that were on the team last year, it probably kind of killed their spirits. How are y'all keeping the team's spirits up this year, knowing that you can make a strong playoff run and continue the Black Cat tradition of going deep into the playoffs? Who has stepped up this year from last year? Because I know we've lost a lot of seniors last year. Our workhorse, Wiley, he's off of college now doing his thing. Miller, our quarterback, he's doing his thing. Was a player after player, senior-wise, has graduated. But with Mexia, we usually have a few athletes step up and take those positions over. What have you seen that has transpired from last year carrying over to this year to make another playoff run for the Black Cat season?
Well, I mean, first thing, COVID canceling our season last year, that still hurts me. I know it hurts the kids because, we really felt like, hey, we could go for it. We go play a Gilmore. We go play a PG. So, it definitely sticks with them. I mean, I hope it stuck with them, knowing, hey, because COVID's, it's here to stay. I mean, it's not going anywhere. At any moment, a game could cancel. We're seeing, 40, 50 games canceled already this week. So, I mean, at any moment, it could be us. So, it could be taken away just like that. Like you said, we lost a great senior class. I mean, guys that were hard to replace, but, we have guys that are stepping up everywhere. They're eager to learn. They're young, but, like I said, they're ready to learn. They're ready to take on that responsibility of, continue that tradition that we've had here in Mexia.
Okay. Now, another question I have, and you touched bases on the COVID, and I know that a lot of the fan base in Mexia, they're concerned of, COVID hitting hard here in Mexia. What do y'all, how do y'all prepare for practice, making sure that they're doing the best that they can to be cautious during this another run of the COVID season?
Oh, man. You have to, washing hands, using, sanitizing, all that stuff. We can distance if we can. If possible, we will. It's hard right now, but we just have to keep rolling with it.
And from last year's juniors and sophomores who've moved up, who has stood out to you from the class of last year that has really, made you say, wow, he's wanting this, he's wanting to eat this, and I'm surprised that he's really stepped up this hard.
Yeah. We have a couple guys up front. Last year they got minimal playing time. Like Damian Molina, he's fully on board now. He's coming to practice every day. He's one kid I think of that's really surprising. Like, okay, didn't know you had this in him. Like, he put somebody on their back a couple weeks ago. I was like, huh, did not know you could do that. But we have guys that have been on varsity, like Dontavius Daniels, that he's stepped up and taken that leadership role. That's something that I hadn't seen out of him the past couple of He's been on varsity for 3 years now, and that's seeing that out of him. It's good for us because we didn't have this many seniors like we did last year. Last year I think we had 24, 25 seniors. I think this year we had maybe 13, 14 seniors.
It's like 13 or 14.
So just having him step up, John Luna sitting over there, having them two step up in that leadership role has helped tremendously.
Awesome. Now, Coach, a lot of people have asked me this question, and this question I haven't been able to answer because I'm pretty sure y'all probably don't know the answer yet as well. But who have y'all picked the quarterback who's going to be under the center yet, or is that?
When does this air?
Or y'all gonna?
When does this air?
This will air.
Before or after kickoff? That's all I'm telling you. You want to find out? Be there, Lake Belton, 7 o'clock.
Thank you.
It's kicking off.
That's a good answer because people have asked me left and right, who's the quarterback? I don't know. We'll have to see Friday night. I don't know.
Yes, sir.
That's a great answer. But Coach, we're glad football's back.
Yes, sir.
I was telling the kids just a while ago, I said, we're just glad to be able to watch some football.
Right.
Because we love some Black Cat football. And we want to thank y'all for stepping up and taking the roles that y'all are taking this year to advance these kids in their future, not just in football, but in life.
Right.
And
Yes, sir.
I want to thank y'all very much for showing up tonight. Good luck Friday night. Don't forget, y'all, Friday night at 7:30 down at Lake Belton High School, Mexia Black Cats will be facing the Lake Belton Broncos. So Black Cats, be ready to show up and cheer your players on. All right, welcome back to my Mexia Sports Network. I'm James Deichler, here along with Mr. John Luna and Mr. Christopher Bradley, guys. It's great to see y'all. It's great to see the Black Cat football coming back around, and we're ready to hear some helmets clash.
Yes, sir.
So I want both of y'all to answer this question. Is it hot out there?
I mean,
Yes, it's hot, but
we have the days. It still depends on the day. I mean, lately it's been real hot, but I mean, the first couple of weeks it wasn't that bad.
And I know we've had turf for a couple of years now. Have y'all felt the difference between a grass turf when it's hot like this? Like I think today it reached like 101 outside, and that's not the heat index. That's just how hot it was. Have y'all felt the difference between a grass field and a turf field? Is it harder on a turf field, or what?
I personally feel like it's harder on a turf field because of the little black things they got. I don't know what it's called.
Those little ground up
Yeah.
tires. Yeah. So how are y'all staying hydrated? Have y'all had any cramping problems? Or?
No, sir.
No?
Be drinking a lot of water. That's really the only way to stay hydrated.
All right. Now, John, I know that you're playing linebacker.
Yes, sir.
Let us know a little bit how your defense is looking.
Our defense is looking tough.
Is that it? Just looking tough?
Yeah, I went in there. I have more to say, but
How big is your defense this year? Is it do y'all have a big defensive line? Is it kind of like?
Yes, sir. We do got a big defensive line. I just feel all around defensive wise, we'll be straight. We just gotta make sure everybody's running to the ball. It's just securing the tackle.
Now, Coach Now said that y'all have a threat at wide receiver playing against Lake Belton. How has the defense prepped for that one player that y'all know y'all have? You're probably not going to be able to stop, but you can slow them down. How have y'all been prepping to try to get that done?
We just been practicing hard on defense during our practice, really. And just looking at that little picture we got in our locker room that has them on there, just gets them going.
Secondary doing more one-on-ones, taking stuff a lot more seriously. Because, I mean, people going to be watching, so we don't want nobody getting embarrassed out there.
No, you don't. Now, you was telling me earlier you play corner, and you also playing a little safety as well?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Tell me about the speed that we have in the backfield this year.
The backfield, I mean, we got a lot of speed this year. I'm kind of excited. I mean, we've had like a lot of speed in the past years, but I think this year it's pretty might be one of the fastest.
Who have you seen on the defensive side that's kind of stepped up this year from last year and it's kind of become a beast on defense?
Dontavius Daniels and Xavier Molina. They both stepped up a lot.
Cool. Now you also play wide receiver as well.
Yes,
How are y'all prepping against this Lake Belton Broncos defense? They're pretty solid, but I mean we'll be able to move the ball on them. What kind of preparation are y'all doing to get ready for this game?
just playing fast, a lot of tempo. Just gonna outrun them, baby. Really, just outrun them.
All right. Well, are y'all happy football is back?
Yes, sir. Very
Yes, sir.
excited.
Just glad.
All right. Well, I want to thank y'all for y'all's time. This is James Dykler with Mexia Sports Network. We will be back in a few. Welcome back to Mexia Sports Network channel. I'm James Dykler here with the Mexia Black Cats Junior High Cheerleading Squad. Ladies, would you like to introduce yourself? Yeah.
Hi, I'm Morgan Bell, and I'm in 8th grade.
I'm Mallory Flores, and I'm in 8th grade.
I'm Megan Shaw. I'm also in 8th grade.
I'm Star Parker, and I'm in 7th grade.
I'm Olivia Eves, and I'm in 8th grade.
I'm Adeline Cargo, and I'm in 7th grade.
I'm not.
Ladies, how long have y'all been getting ready for football season?
A long time.
About a month and a half.
About a month and a half?
Month and a half.
Have y'all had any injuries or anything getting ready for football?
It's not too
Nope.
much.
Luckily, we haven't.
No, we have not.
That's good. Are y'all practicing inside or outside?
Yes, inside.
Why should you practice outside?
Because practicing on the field, so we
We can't get in their way.
That's not fair.
No, it's not.
Well, ladies, I want to thank y'all for coming and introducing yourself. And I hear y'all have something that y'all would like to say to the Black Cat Nation. Go ahead.
Good luck on all y'all's
You got
games.
this.
Good luck.
Black Cats are the
You're
best.
gonna do
awesome.
Go Black Cat.
Go Black Cats.
sponsors. Some may know and some may not know this business is funded by the owner and co-owner. However, we do offer sponsorships during sports seasons. When you sponsor a spot on the Mexia Sports Network, you get advertisement during live games. Also, your sponsorship assists in obtaining shirts for our announcers and equipment that is used to bring you better services. Thank you all to past and present for your support.
Milestones and moments that become memories to last a lifetime. Brandy Garza at Photo Trappings downtown Mexia is here to capture all of your milestones and moments, offering newborn, children, seniors, family, and special occasion photography. Visit Photo Trappings on Facebook for all the latest specials and mini sessions. Photo Trappings, 115 East Commerce, downtown Mexia. Call or text 254-562-PICS. Simpson Fireworks supports Mexia Black Cat football and athletics. We have items for all occasions, including gender reveals, weddings, 4th of July, and New Year's. For more information and to stay up to date, please visit our Simpson Fireworks Facebook page. Go Cats! Mexia Insurance Services proudly supports Mexia ISD, the Mexia Black Cats, and the Mexia Lady Cats. Located at 811 Milam Street and serving the Tri-County area insurance needs for over 30 years with coverages for auto, home, business, life, health, and renters as well as bonds. Call today for a free quote and a review of your current coverage. 254-562-3894. Go Cats!
Sponsored by Mexia Sports Network, Greer and Greer Mobile Detail, Woodman Life, Subway, Joe Fridays, Elizabeth C. Ferrari Realtor, and Big Drip Fashion Hall.
right, and we're back here with Mexia Sports Network for our week 0 or week 1. I'm not sure which week it is now. How they name them? Prediction show.
This is week 1.
It's week 1. Yeah, well, it's week 1 for the Black Cats. I don't think they do week 0 anymore.
I don't think they do.
So I think it's just week 1 around the state. I'm Wallace High. We have Denora Sandals. You heard from James Dykler earlier on our coaches show, and we have Mr. Vance Rose with us. We're going to go through a couple games and do some predictions here this week for everyone. We didn't get our sheets made out like we usually do prior to, so everyone can go over. So we're going to just pull up some games that we found and try to hit as many local teams as we can and get everything going. Our first game that I have on the list, perennial powerhouse Carthage will be taking on Crosby.
Ooh, I'm going to have to go Carthage on this one.
I'm going Carthage.
I'm going Carthage.
And I don't think too many people are going to pick against Carthage, as they've pretty much been solid throughout the past decade. Yeah. Dino's known for his upset picks, but even Dino's not going to pick against Carthage on this one. Next up, we have our friends down in Madisonville. They'll be hosting Diboll.
I'm gonna go with Diboll.
I was thinking Madisonville first, but Diboll, they've got some returning seniors this year that's kind of stepped up, so I'm gonna go with Diboll.
I'm gonna go with Madisonville.
And I think I'm gonna go with the Mustangs as well, Dino. Week 1, you haven't gotten to see them play very much. We know that they were pretty young last year, and they'll be returning quite a few weapons that they had on the field this year. We were able to see most of those kids play a few years ago when we had them in our district. So we're going to see if those young guys are able to step it up and take care of this one. Next one, we have another perennial, powerhouse in the state of Texas. As our friends over in Mart will be traveling right down the road to Teague. Who do you got in that one, Vance?
I'm going to take Mart.
Dino?
I'm going with Mart Panthers.
I'm going to surprise y'all, and I'm going to go with Mart.
Yeah.
Dino, no upset?
No upset?
Yeah. No, I'm not picking an upset either. I think Teague has a lot of promise. They played a lot of very young kids last year on their varsity team, and they'll have those young men back this year, and I think they'll take some steps in the right direction and improve. But even though Mart lost one of the most prolific football players in Texas high school history on last year, it just seems like they find other kids to reload every year, and so it's hard to go against the Panthers over in Mart.
Right. We're going to bring a water tower.
I don't know. They got a new school over there and facilities over in Mart. They're just going to be able to pump them right in and keep producing. Next up, we stay local as the Fairfield Eagles will be traveling over to Rusk to take on the Eagles as well.
I'm going to have to go with Rusk on this one. I don't see Fairfield really making too much improvement from last year.
I'm going also with Rusk.
Vance?
I'm going with Rusk.
I guess we're going to make it a complete sweep for the Rusk Eagles. I'm not sure what Rusk brings back from last year. They had a pretty solid season on last year. Fairfield, they were kind of down and pretty young. I think it'll be a pretty good ball game over there in Rusk, but I'm going to go with the Rusk Eagles in this one. Next, we'll have a matchup that a lot of people anticipate every year. It seems like they've played this matchup almost every year for about the past at least 5-6 seasons. And although both teams lost a lot in senior classes in the last year, they're going to come out. They've become pretty good rivals at the 3A level. We'll have the Grandview Zebras going over to take on the Malakoff Tigers.
Ooh, that's going to be a good one. I think that's going to be a very close one. But I'm going to go with Malakoff on this one.
I'm also going with Malakoff on this one.
I'm going with Malakoff.
Well, we don't have too much disagreement so far because I'm going with the Malakoff Tigers as well. Grandview lost a great senior class last year. Many kids who went on and they're playing at the next level this year, and I'm pretty sure they'll be solid at the younger ranks and who they have coming up this year. But Malakoff was right there with them. You know, they played them toe-to-toe, and Malakoff brings back a big load of talent from that team last year. So
Well, that's the thing about Malakoff, too. They're kind of like Mark, not as good as Mark. You know, they're growing those athletes there, and each year, you know, you have different athletes stepping up to really help take over. So, you know, that's why I have to go with Malakoff.
all right, and next up, we have our neighbors to the south, across the river, will be hosting Mildred. So, who you going with, James?
I got the goats. I got the goats.
I got Groves back too.
I got Groves back too.
Again, we all have. Look, y'all. Freddie's back there dancing, y'all. He's ready to jump and scream because we've all chosen Grosbeck this week. So you know we do this every week when we get to the Grosbeck game because Freddie is a Grosbeck fella that changed over to Mexia Black Cat. So Freddie, you want to come in front and tell us who you got this week?
I got this week. I got Groves back. I got 60-0.
60-0. Well, Freddie chose his goats and he gave us his prediction for the score, and he said it's going to be 60-0. So we'll be watching that one to see how it pans out, and see if we get to laugh at Freddie next week or we have to pat him on the back because he's pretty close. Staying over in the area at smaller schools, we have Eustis going over to Blooming Grove.
That's going to be a close one. But I think I'm going to have to go with you, Blooming Grove on this one.
Yes, I'm going with Blooming Grove too.
I'm going Blooming Grove too.
They got a lot of talent come back.
And I'm going with Blooming Grove as well. You know, we don't get to keep up with them, right? Right. We don't. I don't know what all Blooming Grove has or what Eustis has, but I know Blooming Grove. They've been kind of on the up climb the last few years, so I think they're going to keep riding that wave. And then we have Hillsboro traveling to McGregor.
Hillsboro, they're slowly building a football team over there. But I'm not going to give them this win. I'm going with McGregor.
Oh, okay.
Well, James, I have to disagree with you. I'm going with Harrisburg this week.
I'm going with McGregor.
You going with McGregor?
Yeah.
Man, this is one of those tough ones for me. I don't know what either team really has, too much now, but I'm going to go with Hillsboro. Last season, they seemed to shock us a lot in some of those games that we were picking, so I'm going to go with Hillsboro. This one I think will be a very good game at the 3A level, as the Franklin Lions will travel over to Lorena to take on the Leopards. The red team, Lorena. Woo. James is going with Lorena. Dino?
I'm going to have to go with Franklin.
Yeah.
I'm going with Lorena.
Well, I guess me and Dino are going to be we're going to be the two in the middle, and because I'm going with Franklin.
The two on the outside.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Franklin as well. I've been able to see Franklin play a few times here recently, and I've had the privilege of seeing some of those young men that'll be on their varsity team come up in the youth leagues and everything, and I know they have a wealth of talent right now, and they're young. And with that being said, I know Lorena has one of the most electric young players over there on their side. So, shoot, if we weren't in Lake Belton this week and we were free, I may have been driving to Lorena to check that one out. Next up, we have a couple teams that we'll see later in the season, as Troy takes on Salado.
Well, Troy's been kind of stepping up for the past couple of years. But Salado, they know how to bring it. They know how to bring the pack. And so I'm going to have to go with Salado over the Trojans.
I'm also going with Salado.
I'm going with Salado.
And I'm going with Salado as well. Troy lost a lot last year in their running back and H-back that were in their backfield.
Troy's got a new coach this year, too.
Yeah, and, making the coaching changes. Salado, they've been running that same offense and that same system seems like forever. And right, and they run it almost flawlessly, so I think the system will be their advantage in this matchup.
I think if you ever drive through Salado and you have a riot going on, it's because they've changed the offensive scheme.
Next up, we'll have the Hubbard Jaggers taking on Riker.
Oh, yeah, I got to go with Hubbard on this one.
I'm going Riker.
Gosh, that could go either way. I think.
Yeah.
I'll go with Riker.
And I think this is going to be a good matchup as well, but I am going Riker also. We'll pull it down to our friends right down the road. The Wortham Bulldogs will be hosting Itasca.
I think I'll stick with Itasca. Wortham, they lost a couple seniors last year. I know Coach Coker, they'll get them playing right, but I just feel that they're not going to have enough returns to really do anything like Itasca.
I'm going to have to go with Wortham.
I'm going Wortham.
I don't know what Itasca has, so I'm going to go with our net friends down the road, and I'm going to say Bulldogs in this one as well. I think Coach Coker has those guys going in the right direction. Like James said, they lost a lot in their senior class, but I think they're they did bring back some key pieces of that team. So
they got a good offensive line.
Yeah,
pretty good size offensive line.
So I'm going to go with the Bulldogs. Next up, we'll have Riesel at Marlin.
I'm going to let you have the first pick.
I'm going Marlin Bulldogs.
I'm going to go Riesel.
You're going to go Riesel?
Stacked this year.
It's close.
It's going to be real close.
You going to go Marlin?
I have to go
Well,
Marlin.
I know that Riesel, they'll be pretty experienced this year. A lot of their guys that are playing, they'll have a lot of seniors who started playing varsity football as freshmen. So they'll be very experienced. But I'm going to go Marlin as well because I've seen some of the athletes Marlin's going to put out on the field, and they've had a lot of kids that have come back home.
Yeah.
And so I think that is going to be a big turning point for Marlin in their season this year. Next up, we'll go over to the Waco area. The Robinson Rockets will be taking on the Taylor Ducks.
I'm going Taylor.
I'm going Robinson.
And I don't know what either one has now. I'm going to go Robinson in this one.
I had to pick Taylor because I had to go through Taylor yesterday. So.
Gotcha.
I let them
Staying over in that area, we'll have China Spring as the Cougars travel up to Addison to take on Trinity Christian.
I got it. I'm going
I'm going China Spring too.
China Springs.
Yeah, we'll get to see the Cougars later this season, and we know they brought back Fireball at quarterback and quite a few weapons out there for him. So I'm going to go China Spring as well. Pulling up some of the teams in our district, we'll have Palestine going over to Van.
You know what? I'm going to go with the Wildcats. I'm going with the Wildcats on this one.
I'm going with Van on this one.
I'm going with Van.
I think this is going to be a really good game.
Yeah.
Just looking, I know the last couple of years it's been a pretty close game for those two teams, and I'm going to go with our district mate Van in this one. Not saying it can't go either way, because I think this one really can with I know the athletes that Palestine usually has and what Van has, and I know we're going to see Van later So I'm going to pull for our district mate. Let's go to probably one of the biggest games in the state of Texas this week. We will have the Duncanville Panthers hosting Mater Dei.
You know what? I feel Duncanville's going to be right back up there near the top 10, if not in the top 10, if not number 1. Okay. But I'm going to go Duncanville.
Well, I'm going to have to go against the Texas team. I'm going to have to pick the California team this year. This week, Mater Dei.
I'm going to go with Duncanville.
Well, I'm joining Dino on this one as well. I think Duncanville is one of the gems in Texas, and they're going to have a very good team again this year, just as they have over the course of the past few seasons. But, you know, when you get in those teams like Mater Dei where they're allowed to go out and recruit and pull in kids from all over the state and other areas in the country and bring them into their program. And then Duncanville's kind of handcuffed by the UIL bylaws and rules. It really kind of puts the Texas teams, when they have these matchups, kind of at a disadvantage. So I'm going to go Mater Dei on this one just because I think when they line up, they'll have been able to place more players in certain positions than Duncanville will because of just the reality of Duncanville having to abide by UIL rules.
But Duncanville's playing at home.
Yes, Duncanville is playing at home this year. Looking down the list, we'll go over to Corsicana as they'll go over to the Colony to face.
I'm going to have to go with the Tigers. I think the Tigers are going to bring it out.
Yes, I'm going to have to go with Corsicana too.
I'm going to go with the Colony.
Well, I'm going to go with Corsicana. Vance has said he's standing alone over with the Colony. I don't know what they have, but I'm gonna listen to Vance. So as he picks him, he may get a one-up on us on that one. Yeah, you might get one on us. Next, I think it'll be another big matchup at the 5A ranks here in the state of Texas as Red Oak takes on Ennis in week 1.
Yeah, but I'm going to take Ennis. I think it's going to be a close one. I'm going to take Ennis 24-23.
Well, I'm going to have to go Red Oak.
I'm going to take Ennis.
Man. This one's a tough one for me, because these are two really, really good teams. They're both going to be right at the top of the 5A rankings for the season. They're at Ennis this year, but I think Red Oak is going to come in with a chip on their shoulder, and they're going to take it. I can see that one going either way as well, with the caliber of teams those are. Now, this is probably our only 6-man game of the week.
Whoa.
But our neighbors over in Coolidge will be taking on Jonesboro.
I know Coolidge stepped up a little bit last year, and I think they're still going to be pretty decent this year. But I'm going to go with Jonesboro, 69-55.
I'm going to have to go with Coolidge.
I'm going to go with Coolidge.
I'm going to go with Coolidge as well. I haven't had a chance to look at many of the 6-man teams or 1A teams now, and Coolidge is right down the road, so I'm going to be rooting for them, even though they'll be on the road this week. Another game that's going to have some Mexia ties, but will be away between two other teams, will be Waxahachie Life hosting Connolly. And James, we'll let you get this kick this one off because we know that Connolly Cadets are your alma mater.
My dear alma mater, my Connolly school will forevermore flourish and overrule Waxahachie Life.
also going Cadets on this one.
I'm going Conley.
And I'm going Connolly as well. And that brings us to our last game and the highlight of our day.